Welcome back to Worth Old Coins, the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today, we're going to talk about a classic American coin, the Washington quarter dollar from Top 5 Coins. It might look like an ordinary 25-cent coin, but if you've got one in extra fine condition, it could actually be worth far more than face value in today's collector market, so make sure you watch till the end. We'll explore its history, background, and market value in dollars today. Let's get started. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Before that, America used the standing Liberty quarter. But by 1932, the U.S. Mint wanted a design that symbolized leadership and patriotism, and so the Washington quarter was born. The coin's obverse front features a portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan based on a sculpture by Jean-Antoine Houdon. The reverse back shows a majestic bald eagle with wings spread, symbolizing the strength and freedom of the United States. From 1932 to 1964, Washington quarters were made of 90% silver, but starting in 1965, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel composition due to the rising price of silver. So by 1972, this quarter was already a modern base metal coin, but still a major part of U.S. history and coin collecting today. Coin specifications: 1972 quarter. Here are the technical details of the 1972 Washington quarter dollar. Country: United States of America. Year of issue: 1972. Denomination: 25 cents. Quarter dollar. Composition: 75% copper, 25% nickel, copper-nickel clad. Core: pure copper. Weight: 5.67 grams. Diameter: 24.3 millimeters. Thickness: 1.75 millimeters. Edge: reeded, with ridges. Designer: John Flanagan. Mint marks: no mint mark. Philadelphia D. Denver S. San Francisco. Proof coins only. The 1972 minting in background. The year 1972 was part of a major production era for U.S. quarters. Over 350 million quarters were minted between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, not all coins came out perfectly. Some 1972 quarters show minting variations, weak strikes, and die cracks, which have become interesting to collectors. Even though the coin is not made of silver, its historical significance, classic design, and rarity in high grades make it valuable in extra fine, XF, or uncirculated condition. Market value in dollars. 2025 update: the coin's value in the current collector market. The value of your 1972 Washington quarter depends mainly on its mint mark and condition. Here's an updated value chart for 2025. Mint mark condition: estimated value, USD. No mint mark, Philadelphia, circulated 25 cents. $1. Find a very fine $1.50. $3 extra fine, XF. $5, $10 almost uncirculated. $12, $20. Uncirculated. $30, $1.60 plus D mint, Denver. Circulated 25 cents to $1. Fine to very fine $1.50. $3 extra fine, XF. $6, $12 high mint state. $25, $50 plus S mint, proof $10, $40 plus depending on condition. If your coin has sharp details, clear luster, and no scratches or discoloration, it could be worth significantly more, especially if certified by grading services like NGC or PCGS. Rarity and collector demand: while millions of 1972 quarters were minted, only a small number remain in top condition. Most were used in circulation for decades, meaning extra fine or mint state coins are now rare. Collectors especially seek coins with strong eagle feather details on the reverse, full hairlines on Washington's head, clear mint luster, and no contact marks. In the global market, collectors from the USA, Canada, and even Europe are now focusing on pre-1980 Washington quarters, especially those that survived in pristine condition. That's why the 1972 extra fine quarter is seeing a steady rise in demand and price. Future market trends: experts predict that non-silver quarters from the 1965 to 1979 era will become more collectible in the next decade. Why? Because fewer are surviving in top grades, and modern collectors love historical U.S. designs. In 5 to 10 years, a well-preserved 1972 extra fine or uncirculated coin could easily reach $50 to $100, especially for Denver Mint examples or coins with minting errors. So, if you have one, don't spend it, keep it safe. Because these classic coins are slowly becoming modern collectibles. Collectors' tips: if you want to identify whether your coin is worth more, here are a few quick tips. Check for the mint mark, D4 Denver S4 proof, and none for Philadelphia. Inspect Washington's hair. Extra fine coins should have visible hairlines with minimal wear. Examine the eagle. The feathers should be sharp and defined. Avoid cleaning. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Collectors prefer natural surfaces. Store properly. Keep your coin in a plastic holder or coin capsule to protect it from tarnish. Get it graded. If it looks nearly new, grading can significantly boost its value. Closing and call to action. So friends, that was the Washington quarter dollar 1972, a coin that carries the history of America and still shines as a collectible treasure today. If you have this coin, check its condition and mint mark, because even a small quarter can hold big value. Top 2. The Washington quarter has one of the longest running designs in U.S. coinage history. It was first issued in 1932, to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, America's first president and founding father. The coin replaced the standing Liberty quarter, and its design was created by John Flanagan, featuring Washington's bust on the obverse front, and a powerful bald eagle on the reverse back. Between 1932 and 1964, quarters were made of 90% silver, but due to silver price increases the U.S. Mint changed the composition in 1965 to a copper-nickel clad coin, a structure that continued through the 1970s. Including 1974. By 1974, the Washington quarter had already become a symbol of American pride and one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. Coin specifications. Washington quarter 1974. Here are the full details of the 1974 quarter dollar. Country: United States of America. Year: 1974. Denomination: 25 cents, quarter dollar. Composition: copper-nickel clad, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Core: pure copper. Weight: 5.67 grams. Diameter: 24.3 mm. Edge: reeded, 119 reeds. Designer: John Flanagan. Mints: no mint mark. Equals Philadelphia. D equals Denver. S equals San Francisco. Proof coins only. Background and minting information. The year 1974 was a busy one for the U.S. Mint. In total, more than 1 billion quarters were produced across the three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But even though these numbers sound huge, finding a 1974 quarter in extra fine or uncirculated condition today is not easy. Most of these coins circulated heavily, were used in vending machines, and suffered scratches and wear. Some of the rare varieties include 1974 D double die obverse, DDO, where the "In God We Trust" and date appear double. These are quite collectible. Off-center strikes and planchet errors, coins with minting mistakes that make them even more valuable. Historical significance. The 1974 quarter holds a special place in American history. It was minted just before a major change in U.S. coinage in 1975 to 1976. The Mint issued the bicentennial quarter, which temporarily replaced the eagle design with a drummer BOY.SO. The 1974 Washington quarter is the last regular issue eagle reverse before the big bicentennial redesign. That makes it a meaningful collectible for many coin enthusiasts, a true end-of-an-era piece in the Washington quarter series. Market value in dollars, 2025. Update. Now, let's talk about what everyone wants to know: the coin's market value today. Your 1974 Washington quarter dollar's value depends on its mint mark and condition. Here's the latest 2025 value chart. Mint mark condition. Estimated value, USD, no mint mark, Philadelphia, circulated 25 to 75 cents. Fine, very fine $1, $3 extra fine, XF, $4, $8. Almost uncirculated, AU, $10, $15. Uncirculated, MS63 to MS65. $20, $50 plus. D mint, Denver, circulated 25 to 75 cents. Fine, very fine. $1 to $2.50 extra fine, XF. $5 to $9 mint. State $25, $60 plus S mint. Proof $10, $40 plus depending on condition. Error coins, DDO, off-center, die cracks. $50 to $300 plus, depending on error. If your coin has clear details, No major wear, and strong luster, it could be worth grading by PCGS or NGC, which can boost its value even more. Collector demand and global interest. Even though millions were minted, high-grade 1974 quarters are getting harder to find every year. Collectors love them because they represent the final year of the Eagle reverse before the bicentennial change. Are affordable entry-level vintage U.S. coins. Have interesting mint varieties like the 1974 D double die. There's also a growing international market, especially among collectors in Europe and Asia, for classic U.S. circulation coins, including quarters from the 1970s. That's why the 1974 extra fine quarter is gaining popularity in the global numismatic community. Future market trends. Experts predict that Washington quarters from 1965 to 1974 will continue to rise in value over time, especially in extra fine to mint state grades. As more collectors try to complete full Washington quarter sets, demand for coins like the 1974D and 1974P in top condition keeps increasing. Within the next 5 to 10 years, a certified MS-65 1974 quarter could easily cross the $100 mark, especially if it's an error coin or a sharp strike quality. So, if you've got one in great shape, don't spend it, keep it in a protective holder and watch its value grow. Here are a few quick things to look for when checking your 1974 quarter. Mint mark location, right next to Washington's ponytail, luster and detail. Check if Washington's hair strands and the eagle's feathers are clear. Avoid cleaning. Cleaning destroys original luster and reduces collector value. Use proper storage. Coin flips or capsules are best. Get it graded. Coins graded by NGC or PCGS always sell for more. Closing and call to action. So friends, that was the full story of the Washington quarter $1974, a coin that may look common, but in extra fine condition, it holds real collector value. Top 3. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932, to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The U.S. Mint wanted a design that represented American strength, leadership, and liberty, and the sculptor John Flanagan created a design that has become iconic. The obverse, front, shows the portrait of George Washington, while the reverse, back, features a bald eagle, wings spread wide, symbolizing the power and freedom of the nation. From 1932 to 1964, Washington quarters were made of 90% silver, but starting in 1965, due to rising silver prices, the mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition, which continued into the 1970s, including the 1977 D quarter we're talking about today. Coin details. Washington quarter $1977 D. Here are the full specifications of this historic coin. Country, United States of America. Year, 1977. Denomination, 25 cents, quarter dollar. Composition, copper-nickel clad, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Core, pure copper. Weight, 5.67 grams. Diameter, 24.3 millimeters. Thickness, 1.75 millimeters. Edge, reeded. Designer, John Flanagan. Mint mark, D, Denver Mint, minting background. The year 1977 was a strong production year for U.S. coins, as the economy needed more quarters for circulation. The Denver Mint, over 256 million Washington quarters were struck that year. Even though that number seems huge, finding one in extra fine or better condition today is not easy, because most coins went into circulation and were heavily used in trade. The 1977 D quarter is also known for a few interesting minor die variations, such as slightly weak strikes, die cracks, or planchet errors, which can make individual examples more valuable to collectors. The historical era of 1977. To understand this coin, let's look briefly at what was happening in America during 1977. It was the year Jimmy Carter became President of the United States. The economy was stabilizing after inflation issues, and coins like the Washington quarter remained an important part of everyday transactions. This was 3 years before the big 1980s coinage boom, and it marked the last stretch of the classic eagle reverse Washington quarters before design modernization. So, the 1977 D quarter represents the final years of the traditional eagle design era, making it a nostalgic collectible piece for U.S. numismatics. Market value in dollars. 2025 update. The real-world value of this coin in today's collector market. The value of your 1977 D Washington quarter depends on its condition and whether it has any minting errors or special lustered. Here's an updated 2025 value chart, grade condition. Estimated value, USD, circulated, common wear, $0.25, 50 cents $1, $2 extra fine $4, $8. Almost uncirculated $10 to $15. Uncirculated $18 to $30. Mint state $40 to $75 plus or graded high-end $100 to $200 plus. Error varieties, die cracks, off-center, DDO, $50, $400 plus depending on rarity. 1977 D quarter has strong luster, clear eagle feathers, and full detail on Washington's hair. It may be worth sending to a grading company like PCGS or NGC that can multiply its value. Global market and collector demand. While the 1977 D is not considered rare in circulated grades, high-quality specimens are becoming increasingly hard to find. Collectors today look for coins that are sharp in detail, have original mint luster, show minimal wear. Or include unique mint errors. The international coin market, especially collectors from Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, are now buying more vintage U.S. coins from the 1970s, including the 1977 D quarter, because these represent a golden era of U.S. coin design before major changes in the 1980s. Future value and trends. Experts in the numismatic market predict that coins like the 1977 D quarter will continue to appreciate, especially in high grades or slabbed, certified condition. As time passes, most circulated examples will disappear into collections or be damaged, leaving fewer top-quality coins in the market. That means that extra fine and uncirculated coins will rise steadily in price over the next decade. By 2030, some graded examples could easily sell for $150 to $250 depending on collector demand. So if you have one, don't spend it, keep it safe, protected, and maybe even graded, because it's a coin from an era that will only become more collectible with time. Collector tips. Here are some expert tips to help you evaluate and preserve your 1977 D Washington quarter. Check the mint mark. The D is located just right of Washington's ponytail. Look for details, clear hairlines, sharp lettering, and crisp eagle feathers. Higher value. Avoid cleaning. Cleaning reduces the natural patina and can cut the value in half. Use coin holders. Store in acid-free holders or capsules to prevent oxidation. Check for errors, doubling, die cracks, or off-center strikes can make your coin very valuable. Grade it. If you suspect it's uncirculated, professional grading will confirm its value and protect it long-term. Closing and call to action. So friends, that's the story of the Washington quarter. 1977 D, a small but meaningful piece of U.S. history that continues to shine in the collector world. Top 4. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States and a symbol of American freedom and unity. The design was created by John Flanagan, featuring Washington's bust on the obverse, front, and an elegant bald eagle with spread wings on the reverse, back, from 1932 to 1964. These coins were made of 90% silver, but starting in 1965, silver was removed from U.S. circulating coins due to rising metal costs. That's when the mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition, which continued throughout the 1970s, including the 1978 D quarter we'll discuss today. Coin details. Washington quarter 1978 D. The 1978 D quarter, country, United States of America. Year, 1978. Denomination, quarter dollar, 25 cents. Mint mark, D, Denver Mint. Composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, copper-nickel clad. Core, pure copper. Weight, 5.67 grams. Diameter, 24.3 mm. Thickness, 1.75 mm. Edge, reeded, 119 reeds. Designer, John Flanagan. Background and mintage. The Denver Mint produced a huge number of Washington quarters in 1978, more than 313 million coins that year. However, despite this large mintage, finding one in extra fine or mint state condition today is much harder than you'd expect. Most of these coins went into circulation and have been used for decades, showing scratches, dull color, or loss of luster. Only a small fraction survived in pristine condition, and those are the coins collectors are now chasing. Also, a few error Coins were produced in 1978, including off-center strikes, die cracks, weak strikes, or double dies. These minting errors can significantly increase the coin's value. The 1978 D Washington quarter represents the last years of the original eagle design before the mint began experimenting with new artwork and bicentennial changes. It also marks a period when Denver mint coins were known for their clean, sharp strikes and consistent quality, which makes high-grade examples particularly attractive to collectors. This coin connects two eras, the traditional Washington design from the mid-20th century and the modern U.S. coinage period that followed in the 1980s. That's why, even though it's not silver, the 1978 D quarter is seen as a transitional collectible bridging America's classic and modern coinage market value in dollars. 2025 update. Now let's look at what this coin is actually worth in today's collector market. The price depends on the coin's condition, mint mark, and grading. Here's the 2025 estimated value chart. Condition: estimated value, USD. Circulated, common wear, $0.25, $0.50 fine, $1 to $2 extra fine, $4 to $8 almost uncirculated, $10 to $15 uncirculated, $18, $25 mint state, $40, $75 plus high mint state, $100, $250 plus error varieties. Off-center, double die, planchet flaw, $50, $400 plus. If your 1978 D quarter has clear details, a bright original luster, and no major scratches, it might be worth getting graded by PCGS or NGC. Professional grading can raise its value dramatically. Collector demand and market background: collectors are showing increasing interest in non-silver Washington quarters from the 1970s, especially those in near-perfect condition. Why? Because most circulated coins are damaged or worn. High-grade examples or rare, error coins from this decade are sought after. The 1978 D quarter is particularly popular among U.S. collectors and even internationally. Many coin enthusiasts in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East now collect U.S. quarters as part of world coin sets.So. Even though the coin is relatively modern, it's becoming a hot collectible due to limited high-quality survivors, future value and investment potential. Experts predict that coins from the 1970s Washington quarter series will continue to grow in value, especially those from Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, minced and extra fine or uncirculated grades. Their prices have already doubled in the past decade. By 2030, 1978 D quarter could reach $100, $150. And or better examples might break $250 or more, especially if slabbed by major grading companies. So if you have one in great condition, don't spend it, protect it, grade it, and hold it for the future. How to identify and protect your coin. Here's a quick checklist for identifying valuable 1978 D quarters. Mint mark: the small d is located to the right of Washington's ponytail. Surface: extra fine coins will have clear hair details and most eagle feathers visible. Luster: original mint shine is a big plus. Error check: look for any doubling, cracks, or off-center designs. Storage: use coin flips or capsules. Never tape or clean your coin. Grading: consider professional grading for uncirculated examples. Closing and call to action. So friends, that's the story of the Washington quarter dollar 1978 D, a coin that might look simple, but in extra fine condition, it's a real gem for collectors today. It tells the story of American history, craftsmanship, and the changing times of U.S. coinage. If you have one of these coins, make sure to check its mint mark, details, and condition, because even a small 25-cent piece can carry big collector value. Top 5. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1932. It was introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The beautiful portrait on the front, obverse, was designed by John Flanagan, and it replaced the standing Liberty quarter. From 1932 to 1964, Washington quarters were made of 90% silver, but starting in 1965, due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition, the same metal mix used for the 1979 D quarter. By 1979, the Washington quarter had become one of the most circulated and recognized coins in the United States, a coin everyone carried, but few realized could become collectible in the future. Washington quarter 1979 D. Let's take a closer look at this coin's key features. Country: United States of America. Year: 1979. Mint mark: D, Denver Mint. Denomination: quarter dollar, 25 cents. Composition: copper nickel clad, 75% copper, 25% nickel. core, pure copper. Weight, 5.67 grams. Diameter, 24.26 mm. Edge, reeded, 119 reeds. Designer, John Flanagan. Obverse design, George Washington. Bust facing left. Reverse design, bald eagle with wings spread. Background and mintage. The Denver Mint struck approximately 489,789,780 Washington quarters in 1979, nearly 500 million coins. Even though this number seems massive, the reality is different when we talk about collector-grade coins. Most of these quarters were heavily circulated, used daily for decades, scratched, worn, and faded. Finding one in extra fine, almost uncirculated or mint state condition is now becoming rare. Collectors look for well-struck examples with sharp details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, as these indicate coins that were not widely circulated. Additionally, the 1979 D quarter has been reported with a few interesting mint errors, such as off-center strikes, double die obverse or reverse clipped planchets, die cracks near the rim. These rare varieties can boost the value dramatically. Historical context: the year 1979 was an important period in U.S. minting history. It was a time when the mint was modernizing its production processes, and the same year that the Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced. So, the 1979 D Washington quarter represents the end of an era before major design and production changes began in the 1980s. This was also a time when inflation was rising, and people began hoarding older coins, especially silver ones. The copper-nickel quarters, like this 1979 D, were produced in large numbers, but high-grade examples survived only in limited quantities, making them desirable today. Market value in U.S. dollars, 2025 collector update. Now, let's talk about what every collector wants to know: how much is the 1979 D Washington quarter worth today? Here's the updated market value chart for 2025. Condition: estimated value, USD. Circulated, common, $0.2540. Fine $1, $2 extra fine $4, $8. Almost uncirculated $10 to $15. Uncirculated $18, $25. Mint state $40, $70 plus. Mint state $150, $250 plus. Error varieties: off-center, double die clipped planchet, $1.50, $400 plus. Example: a 1979 D quarter graded MS67 by PCGS or NGC has sold for over $200 at auctions in recent years. That's a huge jump from its original face value of just 25 cents. Global collector interest and background value. In today's collector market, U.S. coins, especially the Washington Quarter series, are gaining huge international attention. Collectors in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia are buying American quarters for their design and history. The 1979 D Washington Quarter stands out because it's a transitional coin from the classic eagle reverse design. It's from the Denver Mint, known for high-quality strikes. It's hard to find in extra fine or uncirculated condition. These factors combine to make it a modern collectible with long-term investment potential, future value and investment potential. Coin experts believe the 1970s and early 1980s Washington quarters will see steady growth in value as more people begin collecting modern non-silver U.S. coins. Why? Because fewer high-grade examples remain in circulation. Younger collectors are starting with modern coins. Certified coins are becoming status symbols in the hobby. By 2030, a 1979 D quarter in condition could reach $120 to $200, while error coins may go beyond $400. So if you find a bright, sharp uncirculated 1979 D, don't spend it, save it, grade it, and protect it. How to identify and preserve a valuable 1979 D quarter? Here's what to check. Mint mark: look for the tiny D under "In God We Trust" near Washington's ponytail. Surface: extra fine coins will have visible hairlines, and the eagle feathers will still be sharp. Luster: original mint shine adds value. Never clean the coin. Errors: check carefully for doubling or off-center strikes. Storage: keep it in a plastic coin flip or capsule. Avoid moisture. Grading: submit high-grade examples to PCGS, NGC, or Annex for professional certification. Closing final words for collectors. So friends, that's the complete story of the 1979 D Washington quarter dollar, a small coin with a big collector story. From its proud American history to its growing market value, this coin proves that even modern quarters can turn into hidden treasures. If you find one in extra fine or uncirculated condition, you might be holding a coin worth many times its face value. Tell me in the comments, do you have a 1979 D quarter in your collection? What condition is yours in? And if you enjoy learning about rare and valuable coins, like this video, subscribe to Worth Old Coins and hit the bell icon so you never miss our latest updates on coin values and history.